So today, instead of opening song, we shall straight go to the business. It is, as you know, the topic today is about doing business. This is a commonly heard phrase that this is my business, I do business, and what is your business, and so forth. The original word actually came from busyness. That if you look at the dictionary, you will see the origin is busyness, B-U-S-Y. Then that Y became I, and the word acquired many other connotations also. As we look at it, we see that it means a very focused activity, a purposeful activity, something that we see that is going to benefit us, something that is our profit associated with. And it is something that is to be done attentively, not in a casual way, not in a callous manner, something that we take up as pastime or as entertainment. We may not be very serious about, but in business we have to be very serious. At least we think we should be very serious when it comes to business. We also therefore say that yes, let us get on to business. Or I mean business, means I am not here for some casual or socializing talk, but I am here for some meaningful activity, something that has a very serious relevance. So that is the way we understand. Also, we use this word in somewhat negative connotation, that when somebody is trying to ask some questions and we don't want to let that person interfere with it, we say it's none of your business. It is. And if still that person wants to persist, he may say that no, it is my business to know all these things. It is so the business has a serious aura around it, that it is something that we do for our profit, for something that is very important in life. Entertainment, okay, if we have time we will indulge into it. If pastimes, yes, somehow we have to kill time, so for that we take up some game, or as kids go into video games. Of course, with many kids it becomes business that to get involved into video games. So it is, it has actually more now a business-like tone about their insistence on video games. It is not just pastime, but it is a very important requirement in life. Business. We want to get on to business. So it is, or sometimes this has that connotation also. That is, what is this puja business that you do? Some people ask me, what is this puja business? Means they are not understanding what is going on, and in a somewhat irreverential way that the thing is presented, that what is this business about? In the sense that does it profit you in any way? So what meaning does it have in your life? So business has all these connotations around it, and it is an important thing to see what therefore is doing business. We all want to do our activities in such a way that they will profit us, they will benefit us. They will not be just waste of time, waste of energy. It has to have that idea that this is something that is going to bring benefit, profit, and some purpose in life that is very important to me will get fulfilled by that activity that is called business. So people, when they say, I am going for a business travel, even some airliners ask you a question. Not that it is you have to answer it, but they still ask, is your travel personal or for business or for some other reason? So why so? Because a business travel, somebody who is going for business will undertake it, because it is a question of making profit. It is the person is serious about taking up that travel. If it is for entertainment, for sightseeing, then maybe it can be deferred. It may be, if it is for meeting some people, for some relations, some friends, okay, I can go some other time. But if it is business, that means I have to go. It is a must situation, because many things hinge on it. So therefore, business, I have to go. It is anything that we do as part of our business. This is my business phone. We say, this is my business phone. Means this phone I use not for frivolous talk or for some such things, but for the activity that is very important for me. So business has this idea that it has to bring something very beneficial in our life, something that we consider quite important. And why this has acquired the relation with money is because most people consider money to be very beneficial in their life. If you have money, then you can get everything from that money, because of this underlying this understanding. We think that business means something that is related to money. So my money making is my business. So it is, if it is making money, then it is good business. If it is not making money, then it is bad business. That is how the profit also gets calculated, that if you invest something and then if you get more than what you invest, then yes, you have made good business. On the other hand, if you have invested something and then lost that investment, didn't make enough to recover it, then it is a bad business. So a good business is that where your activity yields more than what you have invested. That is a good business. You have invested time, you have invested efforts. Now it should yield something that is very beneficial, much more than what you have actually put in. So we need to therefore look into this very critically, that what is profitable to us. And it depends therefore on deciding what we really want in life. Many times we consider that we want money in life, and thus we think that if we get money, then I am doing something meaningful and I am getting my business done. But we see that acquiring money may be something that you take it as a raw material to get something out of it. And not really, you don't eat money, you do not really enjoy looking at money. Of course, some do enjoy. I cannot say that it is they don't enjoy. There are people who take that joy only in the feeling that I have pots of money. So it is, but money is usually to be taken up as means that yes, with this money then I can buy this, or I can get this work done. And then those are again connected to my understanding of joy or purpose of life. In turn, therefore, we see that we have to have an understanding of what is money going to bring to me. And we see in general in people that the purpose doesn't seem to be very obviously or very clearly seen by them. That is why they move from this to this to this, and ultimately sooner or later come to see that none of them were really satisfying or fulfilling purposes in life, and thus it was not a good business. They put in lot of efforts, did very focused activity, but still it was not around the purpose that they wanted to fulfill. The purpose was mistaken there, and so it was not a good business. It did not bring the proper reward. So one should see it as a bad business. It was all wasted, all efforts were wasted. The money also might have been obtained, but still failed to bring the desired sense of fulfillment and happiness. In fact, it created further craving just for money. So you want some money, if you get it, then you think you should get more than that. Then you think you want to get still more than that. Thus the money makes you work. Instead of bringing fulfillment to life through money, money keeps on making you work more and more, becoming slave to money, and that becomes then the state of affairs. We can see these examples all around us. I have seen quite a few that one comes to mind. One gentleman used to frequent to our center, and then it was some of that incident happened in Nagpur. He was fairly rich man, and he had thought that, well, after getting enough money, after making my children stand on their feet, then I will spend time in thinking about God. He did have that idea, so he used to come almost every day before going to his business. He has a garment shop and was doing well. So he used to come every morning before going to his shop. Before opening shop, he would pay obeisance to in the shrine and then go to his business. Probably praying that may today the day may bring more money, more business. So and gradually he started seeing the terrible bondage that was getting woven around him because of this business. He was a conscientious person, so could see that happening, but had really no way of, could not find a way to just cut through it. He said, look, now really my children are grown up. One of them has actually taken up the responsibility of this business, and other, he is not interested in this business, he is doing some other job. And my daughters, they are well settled. So I really don't have anything to worry. I thought that this is all that I needed, and now I should retire. But I don't find now that it is possible. Now I do not need money, but still money makes me work. It tells me, well, if I go and work today, some more business, some more money will come our way. And so I go, I cannot stop it. See, this is the matter, that slavery comes like that. That this person still kept on thinking that I must go to work and I should manage my business. The son is there, but after all, he still needs my advice. The son may not need, but this person thinks that it is, I still need to give him advice, and I also should do my bit. And so the money is making this person keep on working. So is he doing really business? Feeling guilty actually that he is not using his time for any right purpose. Is he doing business? The answer would be really no. It is not really profiting him at all. The money is increasing, maybe, but what is it after all? It comes and goes. We had seen this, and this is a very silly thing about money. It is money only if when you go to spend it. Till then it is no money. And when you spend it means it goes away. It doesn't remain. You have $100 bill, till you go to buy something, it is a paper, nothing else. It is paper. So that piece of paper becomes money only when you go to the shop and buy something from it. So then it goes away, and so this person feels sad. Oh, I am losing money. It is money, therefore, cannot be just the objective for business. There has to be some more purpose for that. Then only it can become business, when it is connected to something that is really bringing good to us, benefit to us. So when we look at that, we have to plan our life properly. If we have to be serious in business, we have to be serious. Planning is required, and not just haphazardly or instinctively or propelled by some whatever peer pressure or other things make us do. We have to be serious as to what is the purpose of life, and then center our activity around that. And then that is doing good business. We see that what can fulfill that purpose, and we should take up that activity. Once we determine that this is the purpose that I want to fulfill in life, and then you focus your attention on that. Center all your actions around that purpose, and thus you become then a good businessman or businesswoman. It is then you are doing business. Otherwise, it is not a good business. You are not doing business, you are wasting your time, because you didn't find, first of all, the purpose of life on the whole. I mean, You took just one part of it and thus making money, or somebody may think that my purpose in life is to become a very famous person. But then after a while, it doesn't make any sense. How much fame can you acquire? And if you acquire fame, it first of all goes away quickly. People don't tend to remember you much. And also some people get more fame than you and you become jealous about them. So it is you cannot have that as a tangible goal in life. It keeps on therefore shifting. This is a very common thing if we observe in life, that our objectives keep on shifting. Whatever purpose we keep before ourselves, if it is not well thought, then we see that it appears to be a purpose for some time, and after a while, when that thing is achieved, we see that it really wasn't the purpose. We start thinking, what next? What next? Some of our friends, it is quite natural, many, they feel that going to see different sites, that is the purpose of life. So every now and then they are taking up travel, going here, going there, going some other place, and then they go there to get joy. After coming back, well, enough joy, got it, fulfilled? No, they need to take up another travel, then another travel, then another travel. So this is what happens in our pursuit, and what I want to do, the objectives keep on shifting. This is what we can easily say. I had told that story about a soccer game. It was actually, I saw that we were all watching the World Cup soccer on television, and a lady, rather quite old, and then was not aware of what the game is, never had understood that game of soccer, what that. So she also, but since everybody was watching, she also was watching. And then they were just, as it happens in the game, the ball was being kicked around, one person would get ball, then kick to somebody else. And she said, well, what a strange game it is. I cannot make any sense of it. This fellow runs to get possession of the ball, that runs to get to the ball. And as soon as he gets the ball, he kicks it to somebody else. What is the meaning of this? That if he wants the ball and is running to get it, should get it and then keep it. First of all, she said, why are they quarreling over one ball? Give everybody a ball and then this fight will stop. But then this ball, you run after it, and then that statement reminded me that it is our objectives. We chase it like a soccer ball, and as soon as we get it, we kind of see that was not, and so we kick it and again start running after it. Keep on chasing, because we are not sure exactly what the objective is. Continuous shifting of objective. That is the nature of our activity, and therefore, although we call it that we are doing business, just see, are we really doing business? We are not doing business. We are wasting efforts because we have not really discovered what should be the purpose of life. If we discover that this is the purpose of life, determine that this is the purpose of life, and then our activities are to be connected to it, the means to fulfill that objective, that goal, that purpose, and find out which means will bring that objective or make it a reality, and then do those activities with full focus, putting in all the efforts, then we are doing the good business. So first thing is, what is the objective? What is the purpose? And here we have been told by sages, and a little analysis will show us that only realizing ourself can be the purpose of life. And no other thing is going to bring satisfaction to us. Anything else we achieve in life will still leave the question again standing before us with that same problem, that what next am I going to do? What shall I be doing after this? It is only realization of self brings that fulfillment, after which nothing else remains to be achieved. And so, if we have to ponder it, it is not just to be heard from the sages or to be just parroted that yes, God realization is the goal of life. It is Sri Ramakrishna has said that, yes, and so many times, that realization of self or realization of God, whatever word we want to use, they mean the same thing. That is the goal of life. But Sri Ramakrishna is saying, will not make me actually feel that, even if devotionally I agree to it, because I don't want to disrespect the sages. I understand what they are saying, and so I say, yes, God realization is the goal of life. Do I really feel it? That is the question. And we should work first to feel it. Why should we work for it? As I said in the beginning, that we should determine first what is the goal of life, and what is the purpose of life. And that needs to be determined. What is the business? Then that question can really be meaningfully answered. What is the purpose of life is to be clearly understood and decided. And we should spend our energies on that. Seriously, friends, it is a business that we have to think about it, and without wasting time. Otherwise, without knowing what we need to achieve, we will be just doing things which will not be of much help. So, determining that this is the goal of life, and then holding on to it, because there would be distractions. So it requires a resolve in understanding that yes, this is the purpose of life. Now hold on to it. Many of us do not have, or do not develop, or do not even feel the need to have the intellect to hold on to the conclusions that we arrive at. When we arrive at a conclusion, we have to hold on to it and then go to the next step. Otherwise, we will just keep on going back to it. In our math class, this used to happen very often, that the one theorem will be proved. Now that theorem is to be remembered, to be kept in mind, because it forms the basis of the next one. So if you forget that, or if you do not remember it, you will not understand how the next theorem is being proved, because it is based on this fact that you already have got the proof for this one. So likewise, we should develop this habit of not getting distracted from the lines of thought. It is a training that we have to give to our mind, that yes, I have derived this conclusion. Now, unless there is something to show that my conclusion was wrong, I should hold on to it with resolve. Resolve is necessary for that, and therefore in the scriptures you hear these suggestions or this advice to develop resolve. In Sanskrit it is called dhriti. And when we have that resolve, okay, I have understood this. I agree with all the sages, and that God realization or self-realization is the goal of life. Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, and all the sages, they cannot all be all wrong, you see, right from Socrates or the Vedantic sages and the Taoist teachers, and the Buddhistic teachers and the Christian teachers and all these, Jewish teachers, Kabbalists, they cannot be all wrong. Yes, they are not wrong. Also, not just basing on what they said, I also analyzed and discovered by giving a concentrated thought on this, that this is the goal of life. Not only that, nothing else can be goal of life. I have understood this. I have paid attention to this part, that yes, this is the goal of life. Now, then comes the part after deciding this crucial thing, that what can make this goal fulfilled in life, what can make us achieve this goal in life. That activity is to be taken up. Today's topic actually was suggested by some verses in Bhagavad Gita, which use exactly the same word, which means actually in Sanskrit or many Indian languages as business. When very early in Bhagavad Gita, when this great teacher, Lord Krishna, was telling Arjuna about this realization of the self, about practicing the yoga, and the goal has been told about, and also the means were being discussed. Then Lord thought that this is time that I must tell Arjuna that this is not a frothy talk or just pastime. This is business. This is something that is very seriously to be taken up. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakhayanantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. This vyavasaya is the word here. Vyavasaya means business. That it is whatever I see as very important, meaningful, purposeful, that which occupies a very big part in my life, that is called Vyavasaya. Therefore, in Sanskrit as well as many Indian languages, if as we call, he asks people, what is your business? People ask that what is your Vyavasaya? So, it is Vyavasaya is this word for business. And so, it is the characteristic of it is told Vyavasayatmika buddhi, the understanding or the intelligence associated with business is focused, single pointed. All other things are kind of kept out. If you want to do business, then in business you keep your personal relationships or your emotional attachments kind of out of it. That it is, yes, you are my friend, but business is business. That is, that is how it is. Business is business. You are my friend. So therefore many times it is told that don't do business with friends. Either you will lose your business or you will lose your friends. So again, the idea is, I heard it from some businessman. It is one devotee used to come, and then he said, well, I will give I have this business, you need these things, and since I am a devotee, I will give you a good concession in this. And then said, okay, yeah, that is fine. So he gave some products and we got them. But then I used to check whether the prices are really low or not. And I saw, no, he was a devotee but was giving at a very high price. So I asked him that why? He said, well, the others will not, this is part of business, He said, this is part of business. That because I come to you, I speak to you, I win your trust, and so you will give me business at a higher price out of the, otherwise other people are going to check, they are not going to let me make much profit. But so it is, friends, this has actually happened. I am not making up anything here. That it is a matter of a few years back that they think that the Swami can be just worked around, and if you pose as devotee, that would be very nice and you can do business. Now both these things were playing together in that person's mind. That it is, yes, okay, we can do like that. And not that that person is insincere. I am still very good friend with that person. Not that it doesn't come these days here much, but I see him sometimes. So, because he is not getting business, what is the point after all, So, so it is. It is like that. That it is. If you are doing business, the point is you keep your emotions and other things out of it. You concentrate on it. That this is the business I want to do. So it is, so ekeha, this is an intellect that is very focused. When you are doing business, you are involved in it fully. You do not want other things to interfere in your business. So you get into it, and thus what happens there? That you avoid everything else. Now the same thing is really very important when it comes to the life that we choose towards our highest goal. It's business, friends. because that is going to bring us maximum ultimate profit and rewards. And so it is to be made business. One should approach it in a business-like fashion. Keep everything else away from it. There may be many attractions and repulsions in life, many likes and dislikes, but you keep that thing away in your business. If it is you go to a shop, and then if the persons at the counter or they in the shop, they see that you are a prospective buyer, then they give you a lot of smiles. The moment they discover that you are not likely to buy, you can see the alteration in moods. So it is when you have the likes and dislikes, but you keep them away. Even if you don't like the face of a person, fine. If he is going to buy in my shop, why should I not be welcoming him? Maybe I may not welcome him at my home where it is not business, but at my business I will certainly welcome that person. So you keep us away likes and dislikes and such things. Focus. So if you are not business-like, then what happens? That is told in the next line. Bahushakha yanantascha. Then the modifications of what you want keep on branching out again and again, infinitely, exponentially varied. You want this, and then from this other branches come out to your thinking. Again it goes on branching out. It is therefore with many people, this becomes a problem in their learning of math, that you have to catch a line of logic there, and not branching out without achieving first what you want to achieve. Then branch out, that is a different thing. It doesn't hurt you. But it is difficult for many to keep a line of logic. Suddenly they remember something else and then start thinking, and thus cannot reach the conclusion. Anything that you want to follow a logical chain of thought, then one has to be determined and patient. So otherwise that learning becomes very difficult. So in spiritual life also this happens. You take up something and then you have to be holding on to it. As Vivekananda says, stop not till the goal is reached. Hold on to it. But they immediately start thinking of something else. And thus that something else again branches out in something else more. You keep on like that, the mind, the vagaries of mind, it is really infinite. If you look at it, just watch the way the mind goes on to jumping from one thought to another thought. Interesting to watch. At least we know how unsteady our thinking is. It is. At least that much we will know. Keeps on branching from here to there, here to there. There is no direction to it. So to be focused on our ideal, we have to be business-like. Hold on to it and continue with that. That is what Lord Krishna is advising Arjuna, that this is very important. If not, then you will not reach the goal, because you will lose the focus. You will go on wandering about endlessly. That is the word, Bahushakha yanantascha. Things will keep on branching out endlessly without fulfilling the purpose. So, therefore, this focus is important. Those who are not focused, their intellect, their understanding keeps on wandering without any purpose. This is, and then when you have this understanding, then everything is woven around it. This is my goal. And then I have these means to achieve it. Understand? Now you hold on to the means steadfastly. As Swami Vivekananda puts it very forcefully, that's a great, very forceful lecture, Work and its Secret. It was delivered during Vivekananda's second visit to America in California, in Pasadena, California. Very beautiful lecture. It says that we have to give equal importance to the means as to the end. And this is a great lesson that he said he had to learn. So even Vivekananda had to learn it. How much more likes of I and you have to really learn it. It is that means have to be adhered to. And he says there, the means have to be exact. The whole attention should be making the means exact, powerful, and we must follow them. Once you get, he says, if you are holding on to the means, then the end must come. End must come. There is no possibility then, except as a matter of accident, that you may not get the goal. If you are following the means, the end must come. So, here also this business-like attitude must be taken up. Yes. Whatever other distractions I will not worry about. Like if some time back, yes, just last week, I was I had gone to Alabama and then was coming back after the work there back to Providence. And then my original flight, because of some problems, got delayed, and I saw that if I wait for that flight I will miss the connection to Providence. And so I went to the counter and they said, okay, we can route you through another flight. Now in the original flight I had a very good seat. But here I was being offered, as because it was already full mostly. So whatever is available I have to take. Now is some good seat more important, or reaching the destination more important? It is reaching the destination more important. So none of you will think twice, like I didn't think twice in accepting that deal. Yeah, please route me like that. I want to get to the destination as close to my proper time as possible. I don't want to keep on hanging around somewhere just for getting a good seat. So, good seat is not important, at least not as important as reaching the destination. So, we have to tell ourselves what is important, that must be adhered to. Other things, unimportant things in the business people, this thing, you just brush them aside. What is important, let me hold on to it. The other unimportant things need not be bothered about. Let us have that business-like attitude where we really have to be concerned about our goal. So, determining the goal and holding on to the means without getting distracted, that is doing business, friends. So, let us determine that we will be doing business.